Imagine you have poured your creativity and effort into developing a unique product or brand, only to discover someone else is using it without permission. How can you effectively and quickly stop that unauthorized use? An injunction is a powerful legal tool, essentially a court order, that compels an individual or entity to either perform a specific action or, more commonly in intellectual property cases, cease certain activities. When intellectual property infringement occurs, an injunction serves as a direct command from a judge to immediately stop the offending behavior, providing a crucial and often swift remedy for the intellectual property owner. The fundamental reason an injunction works is because it is a judicial remedy enforced by the court's authority. Unlike monetary damages, which compensate for past harm, an injunction prevents future harm. Courts typically consider several factors before granting one. These often include the likelihood that the intellectual property owner will ultimately win their case, the threat of irreparable harm if the infringement continues, the balance of hardships between both parties, and how the injunction might affect the public interest. For example, continued unauthorized use of a trademark could dilute its brand value or confuse consumers, representing irreparable harm that money alone cannot fully fix. To obtain an injunction, the intellectual property owner usually initiates a lawsuit for infringement and then files a separate motion asking the court for the injunctive relief. This process often begins with seeking a temporary restraining order, or TRO, which can be issued very quickly without the infringing party present in emergencies. Following that, a preliminary injunction might be granted after a more formal hearing, prohibiting the activity while the lawsuit proceeds. If the intellectual property owner wins the case at trial, a permanent injunction will be issued, making the prohibition against infringement final. A key strategic advantage of an injunction is its directness and speed compared to a full trial focused solely on damages. It forces the infringer to stop operations that relying on the unauthorized use, which can sometimes be a more impactful deterrent than the prospect of paying damages later. This immediate cessation can preserve market share, maintain brand reputation, and prevent further consumer confusion, safeguarding the intellectual property owner's investment in their creations. Ultimately, an injunction stops intellectual property infringement by leveraging the full force of the legal system to demand compliance. It shifts the focus from merely seeking compensation for past wrongs to proactively protecting future rights, ensuring that your innovations and creative works are respected and that unauthorized use is brought to a definitive halt, allowing you to maintain control over your valuable assets.